Well, welcome to ICT and Pedagogy 4001 EDN. My name's Dr. Jason Zagami, and I'll be your lecturer for this course as we explore the use of technology to enhance your teaching and your students' learning. So we're going to be engaging with a whole range of educational technologies in this course. This is an advanced course. Okay, we're not going to be focusing too much on the very basics. So if you do need that extra support, there are tutorials and resources available through the library and so forth, but we're going to be taking you on a journey into the latest and most effective technologies that are available for us as teachers to help engage our students in their learning and to make our own lives easier in our teaching. So firstly, let's look at some of the technologies we're going to be using in this course. So here we have the course Learning at Griffith website. Now on this website, we're mostly going to use it for uploading your assessment tasks, but also there's a few facilities here that I'll draw your attention to. The My Announcements is where I will post announcements to the whole course, and announcements made here will also be emailed to your university email account. There's My Tasks, where for these tasks, if you click near the link, there'll be a little drop-down arrow, and you can indicate when you've started the task and when you've completed the task. And I can then monitor your progress through the course and give you assistance if you're falling behind, etc. Then there's My Calendar, and here it gives you an indication of the various activities that we'll be doing. And then finally there's the to-do list and alerts, which as I populate the website with your assessment tasks, there'll be information going into those indicating when various items are due. So you should also be fairly familiar with your My Marks and the process of uploading assessment tasks, and we'll have more to say about those as we come across them during the course. Now we also have a website called the course website, which I maintain separate to the Learning at Griffith website. But here, each week, I will have the videos that you're to look at, and normally there'll be two videos. This week there's the course introduction video and the ICT integration video, and they'll generally become available on Monday of each week, and you'll have until Thursday to watch those. Next week there'll only be one video, but most weeks there'll be two. Now the videos provide a brief summary of the actual course content for the week. Now this week we've got two aspects. One is the introduction to the course, in this case ICT and Pedagogy, and the other topic area that we're going to be talking about this week is ICT integration. A little bit of theory to give you a bit of an understanding of the concepts behind ICT integration and how we go about assisting teachers and schools integrate the use of technology into education. Now on Thursday each week from 10 a.m. till midday, we will have a whole course online discussion. Now the way we're going to run this is using Google Hangouts. This allows us to have 10 people in a video conference at once, and for it to be streamed live onto the internet. So most of you will watch it live. So as I click on it here, if we were at 10 a.m. on Thursday, you would now see the video of the 10 participants of the panel. And if you've created a Google Plus account, you'll be able to click on the Q&A tab and ask questions live of the panel. Now, on this panel, so at the moment it's showing a countdown of 2 days, 8 hours, 54 minutes, etc. before the session begins. Now, each week we'll have up to 9 students on the panel. Now, to assist you and encourage you on being on the panel, I've included an assessment task whereby you can gain credit for participating in I think it's 4 panels. Now, for this course, we're only going to have 6 sessions before that assessment task is due. So if you want to be on a panel and you want to get credit for that assessment task, a nice easy one, you need to start signing up to get in quick to be on the panels for each of the weeks. So I encourage you to sign up. The way you do that is on the spreadsheet. Down the bottom there's a little link to click on. Click on that link. It will open up a Google spreadsheet. And you simply put your name and your Google Plus enabled Gmail account. So that'll be an email address that I can use to invite you to be on the panel. Now, there's a few things I need to say about your Google Plus email. The first is that it cannot be your university email account. Unfortunately, the university Gmail account is not yet Google Plus enabled. So you will either need to create a new Gmail account, and you can simply do that from any of your Gmail pages. Simply log out. In the top right hand corner of your Google page, there'll be an option to log out, and then you'll see an option to create a new account. So go through that process. Make sure you then access the Google Plus aspects of the web page as it arrives, and I'll be providing some links on how to do that if you're having some difficulties. But once you've enabled Google Plus, you can then participate in Hangouts, which is the online video conferencing, and also the Q&A aspect of watching the videos. So you'll need to get that done, and I'll put on a little video. Haven't quite done that one yet, but tomorrow I'll create another little video clip to go down the bottom of this page that will explain that in a little bit more detail. But it's important that you create your Google Plus page, or Google Plus account, so that you can fully participate in our whole course discussions. So that's the 3 main aspects of the course. The videos that you watch each week, which are summaries of the text that you read and study, and we then have a discussion about those on Thursdays. Now, in the actual introduction documents, there's 3 ways of looking at it. There's an iBook version, which if you've got an iPad or you've got a Macintosh computer, an Apple computer that has the iBook reader installed, you can look at that particular version. There's the PDF version, and then a flipbook of that PDF version. So the flipbook simply lets you look at the PDF on the screen and flip the pages as though you were reading a booklet. Now the PDF version you can download and can read on the computer, or if you don't mind destroying the environment, you could print it out and have it as a hard copy. So this is the flipbook version, and you can just flip between the pages. It currently shows that they are over 2 pages, while the more traditional PDF version shows it on a single page per screen. Now this booklet, the ICT and Pedagogy one for 2014, it takes you through how the course is organized, and in particular how the assessment tasks are completed. So we'll just wait for that to appear any second now. Maybe 3 seconds now. Okay, so a little bit of an introduction. So it's probably a good time to introduce the course now. So again, this is ICT and Pedagogy, and our focus is on preparing you to be able to use ICTs, or information and communication technologies, to support your use of educational technologies for your teaching. So basically how to teach more effectively through the use of technology. As we go down, in terms of the general course introduction, we've got a little bit of an intro there. There's various ways you can engage with the course material. If you prefer the on-campus lecture style, you can gather together and you can watch the videos in groups on campus. You can book various locations in the library or common spaces, any of the computer labs, the open access computer labs you can use, and you can get together and watch the videos, discuss them, take notes, and prepare for then the whole course discussion. Or you could do that at home or off campus. Gather together with a group of other students and watch the presentations, read the notes, and discuss those. You can even do them as Hangouts. Up to 10 students can meet online using Google Hangouts. So once you've created your own Google Plus account and you've seen how the Hangouts work, you may decide that that's the most convenient and effective way of gathering together. You can play the videos within Google Hangouts, and you can discuss those online. Or you could just do it individually. Watch the presentations, read the notes, make discussion on or make notes on them to ask during the whole course discussion, and do it individually. So that's what will replace the traditional lecture or the transmission of presentation, and hopefully you'll find that more convenient than always having to gather together on campus and sit in a lecture hall while I speak at you. Now on Thursdays we gather together to have a discussion about this material and talk about what it actually means in more detail and contextualize it for your own personal areas of educational interest. Now to do that, as I said, we're going to be using Google Plus Hangouts, and you need to create your own Google Plus account. Now you'll also need to use it on your own laptop or computer. Unfortunately, Google Plus Hangouts, to be on the panel, you can't do that on a university computer. They don't have a small little plugin that's required called the Google Voice and Video. So when you first try to start your own Hangout or join a Hangout, it'll ask you to install a small little plugin, and that will then allow you to use that technology. Unfortunately, that isn't available on the university computers at the moment. You can still watch a Hangout, watch our panels, our discussion on each Thursday, but you won't be able to necessarily ask the questions through the Q&A panel or participate as a video panel member using the computers at the university. Your laptops work fine if you just start it up and install it. And what I encourage students to do is to run their own Hangouts. You can either just create a Hangout for yourself and just make sure the technology works and shows yourself being videoed and able to be transmitted out. But even better is if you create a Hangout and then get another friend to also join that Hangout and have it just checking to make sure you can communicate okay between the two of you. So that's an important thing to get ready before Thursday. Ideally, you'll all have created your Google Plus enabled accounts, and you'll use those to either watch the Hangout as we have it on Thursday, and you can do that straight off our course webpage. So back here on the course webpage on Thursday, simply press play and you'll see the actual live whole course discussion. To ask questions though, you'll need to have logged into your Google Plus account and then press play, and then you'll see the little Q&A button appear. And even more ideally though, you'll have actually signed up to be a panel member, in which case I will, at 10 AM, or actually probably starting from 9:30, I will start sending out invites to you using the Gmail address that you've put into the spreadsheet, and you'll then see a little invitation appear on your screen. You may also see an email appear inviting you, and you can then click on the link in that, and if your Google Plus Hangouts has been all enabled on your computer, you'll immediately appear as we see in this example of a Hangout that I had recently with a number of colleagues. You see the main screen where the person that's speaking appears automatically, and down the bottom a little thumbnails of the other participants, and then whoever's speaking automatically appears in the main larger screen. Other students will be able to ask questions. We'll see those questions and we will answer those as we go through the session. So back to our introductory material. Where's it gone? There we are. So the whole course discussion, generally it's done individually with each individual person watching on a screen, but you can gather together, and particularly if you're just watching the whole course discussion, you can gather together in groups to watch that and ask questions of the panel. But ideally the panel members will be individually on their own computers. So I've mentioned the course digital text. You don't have to purchase any textbooks for this course. I'm providing all of those, and you can just use those as we go through each week. In week 1 we had a drop-in session. There was a couple of students from this course that were there, and we just clarified a few things to do with going into Google and going into the course website and things of that nature. That material is also available on the videos at the bottom of the main course webpage. In week 3 we're going to have a professional development workshop. It's optional, so you don't have to go along, but I've arranged for the Queensland Society of Information Technology and Education. They're running a little mini conference at a school just down the road at Musgrave Hills State School on Saturday. It's going to go from 10 AM to, I think they've actually changed it to about 3 PM. There is a small cost involved to cover the lunch, etc., but they've got some quite good keynotes and a whole range of different workshops that will be available, and you can find out more details by going through the link, and I'm pretty sure they've even got an ability now to pay online and things of that nature. In week 4 we're going to have a workshop day where in G31 we're going to explore some technologies around 3D printing, programming, robotics and makey-makeys, and you would have signed up for that when you enrolled in the course. And then finally, in around about week 8, although this date may change, there'll be another opportunity to participate in a professional development workshop. But for this one, you actually can have the opportunity to present yourselves, to present something about educational technology you've been studying and learning during this course, and sharing that with other teachers and other students. And that can also count towards your assessment. So, the topics that we're going to be exploring over the next 9 weeks. ICT integration this week, information and communication technologies next week. Week 3 we're going to look at educational gaming and virtual worlds. Week 4 robotics and automation and visual programming and digital storytelling. Week 5 learning management systems and blended and online teaching. Week 6 learning analytics and mobile learning technologies. Week 7 adaptive technology and universal design for learning. Week 8 we're going to have a look at the Australian curriculum and what that means, particularly with digital technologies as a new subject that's going to be introduced. And in week 9 we're going to look at ICT leadership in schools and how you can become leaders in terms of the use of technology in the schools that you hopefully go out to teach in. Okay, assessment, always near and dear to students' hearts. In this course I've arranged things for 2 sets of assessment. The first is an assessment of your effort. Okay, it's called a log of learning activities, and it's based on you completing various tasks and quizzes, and your grade is not determined by criteria, but by completing set activities. And the second is more traditional in terms of an assessment of your capability, being a portfolio of learning, and it's based on your performance evidence as measured against a set of criteria, which you would be familiar with in most of your university subjects. Your log of learning activities is due Friday of week 6, your portfolio of learning due Friday of week 9. So let's have a look at these 2 in a bit more detail. Your log of learning activities is made up of 2 sets of things. One is 4 online quizzes, each worth 5%, and the second is 6 completion activities, each worth 5% again. So that adds up to 50% of your mark. The quizzes, there'll be a quiz available for each of these topics. There'll also be an introductory quiz, a practice one, based on the course introduction. Now, the idea of the quizzes, generally there's about 20 to 30 multiple choice short answer questions, and you take those online, and they're based on your readings and understanding of the text. They're open book, so you can have all the material available with you. They are timed, and it's based upon how quickly you can recall the information, and also how sometimes you can interpret various concepts and come up with the correct answers. They're not too hard. Main purpose is to ensure that you've read the material in sufficient detail and engaged with the course content. Second set is a set of completion activities. You have to do 6 of these, and I've given you a whole range of different options to choose from. The first one is to participate as a discussion panel member. If you do at least 4 sessions and you contribute some new facts about the topic under discussion in each session, ask at least 4 questions during the session, and respond to some questions from the audience, and also some questions afterwards from the audience. You then put all that into a Google document and submit that, and you can gain credit for having been a course discussion panel member. You can go to the professional development workshop. There you'll get an attendance certificate. You can post a comment to our discussion forum about the event, respond to another student's comment about the event, post a photo about the event, respond to another student's photo about the event. Again, nice simple one to give you credit for having participated in the professional development workshop. You create an educational technology poster. Again, fairly simple little activity based upon a technology from one of the Horizon reports, which you'll find out about if you do the readings for this week. Other activities you can do, create an infographic, create a location-based learning activity. All of these will come up as we go through the various modules in the course, and they relate to the readings that you'll be doing. Run your own online Hangout. Subscribe to the Learning Place, which is the learning management system run by Education Queensland. Create a digital presentation using something like Prezi or SlideShare, things of that nature. Analyze an educational computer game. Create a photo tour. Create an augmented reality storybook. Create a voice thread or Animoto story. So there are a whole range of different activities you can choose from. You do up to 6 of them, and I may add some more as we go through the course. So that's the first assessment task, due in week 6. Your second is a portfolio of learning, and from this you choose 3 of the items to complete as challenges. The first one you could do is a digital portfolio template. Now, this isn't completing a full digital portfolio. It's simply the template that is the shell that you could populate it with material about your assignments and assessment items and your practicum experiences and all that sort of stuff. You don't have to fill it up with all that content. You're simply making it as a shell and showing that you can use Google Sites to create a website that would function as a digital portfolio. And there's a whole series of things that you can or you have to do to get the full credit for that. Some of them towards the end get a bit more difficult, but there's lots and lots of resources in terms of tutorial guides and YouTube clips on how to do all of these things. But that's the first activity that's available to you. The second is to present your own professional development session at that second professional development day that I've spoke about. In this case, you have to present it to teachers and showcase that. You can do a TPAC analysis, and you'll find out about that if you do the readings for today or this week. You can create a SAMR series. Again, there's examples of how to do that in the readings for this week. You could write an article for a journal on some aspect of ICT. You can create an online test that students could do. You could do an analysis of some student data, similar to what is done for NAPLAN data for student classes. You can write an argument for or against one-to-one or BYOD computing in schools. So that's an argumentative essay. You can create your own educational app. You can do an analytical essay about MOOCs, massive online open courses. You can set up your own learning management system, similar to Blackboard and things like that. You could create a video tutorial on a topic. You could create a digital book, similar to the ones that you've been seeing for iBook in this course. You could explore using Minecraft or a Portal game and look at how an educational activity could be done in those environments. You could write your own educational game. You can create a QR code educational activity, which is an augmented reality quick response codes. You can create your own augmented reality site-based educational activity. Again, you'll learn more about those as we come to those units during the course. You could create your own machine tour of a computer game or virtual world. You could create your own virtual world or build within a virtual world. You can create a robotics camp, so a series of activities using robotics. You can create your own electronic solution using various electronic kits. We'll explore those in more detail during our on-campus workshop day. You could create your own animated story or claymation using various tools. You could create your own educational computer program that maybe does some flashcards up for learning a language or something of that nature. So they're the whole range of different options. You only do 3 of those. So there should hope to be something in those that suits your particular area of interest and that you can explore to do as a task. So finally, I've included a weekly to-do guide to assist you in to-do guide to assist you in managing your time and the activities involved in the course. So here's an overview where we see the main events occurring each week and the main activities that are due in terms of your assessment tasks. Each week there's a summary that's available in slightly more detail. So to get the most out of this course, you will need to do the readings, you will need to regularly watch the video clips, and if you let those back up, it can make your participation in the course rather difficult if you leave too much towards the end. And I really encourage you to participate in the online discussions, and particularly as panel members. It makes it a much richer and enjoyable and engaging experience if you fully engage with the technologies and the processes we're going to be using for our tutorials. They can be very social environments if you choose to make them so, and I hope that you will all engage with our whole course discussion groups in the spirit that they've been designed to support your learning in this course. So sign up for those discussion groups. Make sure you create a Google Plus enabled Gmail account. Try to be on as many of the panels as you can, and I hope to see you all on Thursday at 10 a.m. Bye for now.